Hello, hello. Welcome to Kawowo. Hello and welcome to Kawowo Sports. This is another big production from the team at Kawowo Sports. We are going to be bringing for you the final of the Uganda Rugby Premiership right here at the Kings Park Arena. But just before we get into the action, I have three distinguished gentlemen here. There is Isaac Bansa, there is Isaac, there is Chris, there is David, and we are going to have a very good game today. But first, let us have a conversation. Isaac, how are you feeling?
Very great. I feel like I was champion already. I have the champion feeling.
Yes, how do I feel? I even feel great. And as you can see, I have a toothpick. It's not for the pork, it's for buffalo meat.
Chris,
It's coming with a Bantazad, eh? Yeah, but it's all right, it's all right. Let's wait for the game to end. It played over 8 minutes. I'm feeling great. You know why? We are winning this.
all right, guys, what are your expectations for today's game? Let me start with you, David.
The first expectation you should know is that judging from the last final that we played in, of course he would not know, sometimes it goes way beyond 80 minutes. But I think it's going to be a fantastic game. Both teams have been quite on point. Of course, I could say Buffaloes has had the smoother season. We've had a few patchings here and there to do as Pirates, but I'm certain the boys are set. Marvin is cooking.
All right, Isaac, do you expect the Buffaloes to carry on if at all this goes beyond the 80 minutes of the game?
Of course, we have a better bench, better than any other team. Better bench, 4-4 split, 6-2 split. You don't have back lines. So we might need back to rest you might need to rely on your back line in the extra time, which you don't have. You talked about last season, you won against Zippos because you had a fire guy in the back line, a commander. You don't have a commander now. You might not. Your back line is shaky. So, but for us, we want to cook. We don't want 80 minutes. 80 minutes. That's being so lenient to you. You want the game to end fast. People go. We take your women. We enjoy the day. Yes.
Isaac. But who are some of those players you're looking out for in today's game? Not just for Buffaloes, but for the Pirates as well.
For Pirates, I'm looking at Roy and Jeremiah Diambo. Those are the guys I'm looking out for. But for Aruna, that's a yellow loading, by the way. Now, Buffaloes, bruh, my guy, the superstar, now number 10. Yasin Waswa. Yeah.
Yes, as you can see, the Buffaloes are now getting onto the pitch. Thank you very much, gentlemen. David, your last words?
We shall cook.
Now, what are you
We shall cook.
You can't cook without firewood. Where's the firewood, man?
We shall see.
You ain't cooking.
All right, thank you very much.
We shall come back at the end. At half time, I'm going to come back.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. And now the teams are running onto the pitch, and we are going to go straight to the commentary booth. I told you we have a very special guest in the commentary booth today, so just look out and wait for him to introduce himself on the comms. Thank you very much. Over to you, Fred.
As far as it is to be recognized, certainly the quadro, we do have other members of the rugby community who have passed on. We are not sure. So, short while ago.
There are, of course, very few occasions on the Ugandan sports calendar that match the billing of a final, any final. But this one, the Uganda Rugby Premiership final, has a lot of excellence and distinguishment about it because there is a very big story surrounding this particular occasion where the Pirates have come as guests to near perennial winners, the Pirates, here at Kings Park Arena. Of course, the weather has favored us. The tropics have been very kind, and the teams are now out, lined up, and before anything else goes on, we have to acknowledge the passing of legendary Pirates player Sidney Gongodio. You can call it a moment of silence that precedes a myriad of many fortunate and exciting sporting events as players from both teams remember, recognize Sidney Gongodio, who was unfortunately physically left us, passed away a couple of weeks ago, but many of them are shoulder to shoulder with him, and they will play this game with his memory for the memories he created with them as they ran on every blade of grass that marks the Kings Park Arena. I'm happy to host you today this afternoon on Kawowo Sports Live. For those of you who are watching in the comfort of your homes, we have played our part to make sure you enjoy this day. It's the Uganda Rugby Premiership final between the Stanbic Black Pirates, the defending champions, and Toyota Buffaloes from Chadondo, who are making their first return to the final since 2013. My name is Sylvester Nyombi, and in excitement, I'm joined by my brother and my friend, the one who took the beards from me, Joseph Mani Muhumuza. Joseph.
Yes, thank you very much, Nyombi, and I'm very happy that you're joining me here today for what is going to be a very exceptional game between the Pirates and the Buffaloes. And now we have countdown, William Cody with ball in hand. And here we go.
Instant impact. We will not have time for niceties, no time for decorum. We are right into the thick of the action, and Conrad Wanyama at the base of the scrum, of the ruck rather, makes sure that that's very well emphasized. Pirates, the home side, the defending champions, their third straight final, already making a statement with this entry into the Buffaloes 5. Phase after phase, they keep coming. Wanyama, the ever diligent servant, doing his best to do the recycling. Ariho Muhumuza, player who only joined the Pirates on permanent transfer, makes the next phase, and Nathan Wambali is there to do the extras. Captain Frank Chidega looks like that ball has hit him and picked up by, it should have been Ivan Kabagambe, who was right in front of him, which makes him offside. And it's the Buffaloes who will enjoy the first penalty of the day, courtesy of that unfortunate event, which now tasks Yasin Waswa to slice the touchline and make the Buffaloes able to compete in the air, which he does without fault.
Yasin Waswa finds very good touch there, and at least he drives the Buffaloes almost to the halfway point of the pitch. And now we are going to test the forwards for the first time in the first set piece of the game. The line out, Godfrey Ayebari throwing for the Buffaloes. And of course, he's another player who moved from the mighty Makere Impis and is now playing his trade at Chadondo Rugby Club. So I go. Very beautiful line out. But now, Pirates are on the onslaught. But there's a knock-on in the tackle there.
We have advantage for knock-on in the tackle by Black.
as you can hear the referee explaining right now.
We have advantage.
The Buffaloes are taken into touch with the ball, but then they will have to come back for that scrum. And in just one passage, we have already seen the line out and we have already seen a scrum now. How do you reckon that is going to go?
Red ball?
Nothing short of a final. This is exactly what we expected. This is what we are getting.
Okay.
This is a neutral stream for sure. This is something those of us who do not support either Pirates or Buffaloes have been looking forward to right from the start. We've already seen we've already seen a penalty, a line out, and now a scrum down. All the items that denote the breakdown of a rugby game have already happened in under a minute. And now it is Buffalo's ball yet again, and makeshift scrum of Humphrey Ndahura feeds that ball in. Many have been expecting that the Buffalo scrum will crumble against that of the Pirates, but they managed to hold their weight and set up the ever-working Kennedy Muhumuza. Daudi Vajananseko somehow manages to complete an orchestrated pass that he pulled out of the heart that nobody expected into the hands of Aruna Muhammad, who now attempts a 50-22, and oh my God. This is why we are here, ladies and gentlemen.
So line out
I
here.
am already entertained. I think even if the game ended here, my money's worth would have already been got.
Of course, but Aruna Muhammad still has a lot to offer in this game. And for a moment, I thought that the Buffaloes had that go-forward momentum. But that kick from Yasin was a little bit wanting, and Haruna has brought them back. And now we have a line out on exactly the 5 of
Get ready on the line, on the line, on the line. On the line.
The Buffaloes, and it is going to be Nathan Bwambali to throw for the first time in this game. Ayebare Godfrey has already thrown for the Buffaloes, and his ball was good to Titus Oyu. And now we have Nathan Bwambali. He has a couple of jumpers in there, but he goes for Douglas Komakech, and that ball doesn't go to hand, but it eventually works out. Ariho Mumza with the ball.
Short.
Buffaloes living on borrowed time, and yet the game has only just begun. You could call it a pre-match alone. Conrad Wanyama goes on the outside, finds Nathan Bwambale, and without fault, he crosses the whitewash, and it's try time. This is why we love this game. This is why rugby is very outstanding. There's so many things that can happen in one split frame, and that is a clear example. In less than a minute, Nathan Bwambale throws the ball. Buffaloes go ahead to claim it. They fail to get their hands out of that mess. And Ariho Muhumuza pounces, one phase in, and Conrad Wanyama swings on the outside. They would expect the ball to go to Jeremiah Okello, who cleverly evades it, leaves it for Nathan Bwambale, who goes down to the corner to the back bencher's place of solace and clears the whitewash. And now the Pirates, home side, much to the expectation of many, are in the lead, setting up the navigator, William Nkore Prince, for the conversion.
Surely, kudos to the Pirates. That was a very good play in there. And of course, Conrad Wanyama with his experience, just figuring out that the Buffaloes were a bit relaxed on that defense. And it was a bit of poor defending. They are very pedestrian from the boys in red. But now we have kick-off. We have a restart once again. And the Buffaloes are behind by 5 points. Remember, the final is a one-legged affair. So you have to win this. You won't have next week to redeem yourself like our teams have been doing in the semi-finals and quarter-finals.
Yeah, definitely. 16 gruesome weeks of tough work have come down to a windy afternoon in the Wakiso area. And it is the Buffaloes who represent everything else that was competing for this title to snatch it away from the Pirates. And of course, the home team that is in comfortable lead right now. Conrad Wanyama, been an excellent sign for the team. He's almost charged down, but one of the most soft-skilled props, Ivan Kabagambe, cleans up. You can see Conrad, William Nkore was there waiting, but Conrad chose the option of Aruna, who seems to want another 50-22, but this time is a little bit disadvantaged. He becomes too good a workman for his duty, and he's now deployed way deep into his own 22 with the Buffaloes, who many of the rugby people have said have fielded a much weaker scrum. They now have a chance to prove them wrong, and the ball will be in the hands of Humphrey Ndahura anytime from now. You can see Haruna, Joseph Mani made a very interesting remark about him last weekend, that the thing about him is he can send you to heaven and hell in the same breath. He's that type of guy. Just a few minutes ago, he set Pirates on, cushioned them with a 50-22 at the 5 of the Buffaloes where they managed to score. And now, barely a minute or two later, he has put them on heavy defensive duty with a kick that goes dead from deep inside his own 22. Buffaloes now, time to get to work for the hard.
Of course, the first scrum was very stable in the game, and the Buffaloes managed to hold on. But surely this is a penalty. This is a penalty. You cannot scrimmage like that.
Up, eh?
And the referee, Brian Batakwi, tells them as much.
The other side is who? That one is the side. Yes, he's the one getting up.
For those of you who are listening to the exchange between Manny and myself, for better understanding of some of these scenarios, we may have to break down into the local dialects. Please understand the debate here is whether it was rightfully a penalty for the Buffaloes or it should have gone to the Pirates because one of the Buffaloes front rowers there popped up out of the scrum into the hot, shiny Wakiso skies. You would have believed it would have gone the other way around. But we believe that the referee is as sober as a judge, considering that he's the judge of the matters that are proceeding here right before us. And the Buffalo's penalty gives a chance to Yasin Waswa to save them the embarrassment by putting them on the scoreboard and keeping the game close.
Nyombi, I think the referee got it right in that moment. You could see Ivan Kavagambe, very experienced campaigner, trying to get the best of a young man like Rodney Takan by pushing him upwards, and that's why you could see his back go up, not his head. And therefore he was adjust to have pushed forward. And now Yasin Waswa has gotten them ahead. What a beautiful penalty from Yasin Waiswa Mukwana. The penalty right there cuts the deficit to just 2 points in the final.
For those of you who are watching the game for the first time, thanks to Professor Mani, welcome to Rugby for Dummies. That is what happens. So now it's Nkore to get the action back.
Went back. Play on.
Yet another opportunity for the Buffaloes to claim
let's go.
the ball,
Step,
but
step,
it seems
step.
that the occasion is outweighing the hard because
Play on,
they've lost that ball, and the Pirates for their second kickoff of the day have reclaimed possession. Ariwo Muhumu's are already busy. That's a very big how was your lunch hit by the big baker. Now in the hands of Eric Mulamula. Father into William Nkore, into Jeremiah Ijala. Ijala, you could have expected that he would have beaten his man there, but he's covered just enough meters now. Frank Chidega. Good recycling by the Pirates rather. Very patient play. There's a bit of mismatch in brain wavelength there, but still they get the ball, and Haruna Muhammad already is in the dummy business. Although he's brought down by an organized Buffaloes defense. Baker again, another big hit.
Tako, get back.
Yes, Baker breaks bigger things. Chisiga sells a dummy to Eric Mulamula and goes down for the ruck. Buffaloes are now having to ruck with everything they got, and they pay the iron price because the Pirates are now looking for bounty, having got another penalty just at the entrance of the Buffaloes fight.
Anyone putting on a headgear today must hate to see Ariho Mumza Baker coming. First it was Bisaso Kenneth, and then of course Owen Mugogo in there, all putting on headgears. This should be a cautionary tale for Kennedy Mumza, don't you think?
Calling, you're just discussing it. Play on.
Well, it turns out they've been saved by the referee's whistle. We had to understand why that call was, and it was it was for time wasting. Yasin Waswa goes to clear the ball away, and Roy Chizito, ever professional, ever growing, claims that ball, sets it up. Haruna with the dummy, Conrad Wanyama, Alex Aturinda, Timothy Chisiga. He could have offloaded it off the floor, and he does. Alex Aturinda, yet again, does a Spasafra Daura, and dots down under the balls, ladies and gentlemen. Uganda's busiest rugby player, Uganda Rugby Championship top scorer, does it again and again and again. This is all too familiar to him. This is all too easy for him. He's a leader, he's a doer, he's a champion, he's a defender, and he's here putting the Pirates further in the lead. 10 points the Pirates. Beautiful interplay in the hands there by the Pirates. Very good work from Haruna to Wanyama to Chisiga, back to Alex, and all the way he goes to the touchdown, setting it up for Mr. Nkore William here with the easy conversion. I think he would have made that in the middle of the night with his eyes closed.
Once again, that Buffalo's defense is a little bit wanting. You would have thought that Humphrey Ndahura, who was at 15, would have made that tackle on Alexa Turinda, a big man who loves spaces. But then that was a little bit, reluctant from Humphrey Ndahura, and now they go behind, way behind in this game. Early in the game, something to note: the Buffaloes have been a very good team in the second half throughout the league and throughout the playoffs, and now they find themselves behind early in the half on a very hot, sunny and windy day right here at the Kings Park Arena. Do they have something in them to recover? We wait and see. But that's a very good take from Humphrey, and surely it is a knock-on now.
Yeah. This is why you come out on a Saturday to watch a game like this. My word. Buffaloes have trailed for 4 of their last 5 games at the halfway time, and they've managed to go on and win each and every one of those games. Today will be a bigger test because they are playing against a team that has been through all forms of circumstances at all levels of occasions, locally and regionally. And today you would think that the Buffaloes need to pull up their socks much faster. The Pirates are already in motion. They're in sync. They're gelling just very nicely. Everybody who gets the ball is seemingly doing everything right, even in that moment where Humphrey Tashobia was adjudged by center referee Brian Batakwire to have knocked the ball forward. I think even the courage to get him to claim was good enough.
And now another scrum, and that doesn't look good. But Desire makes the tackle after Chigua picking up that ball right there. And that scrum wasn't so clean, but a player has to go on. Victor Baguma right there with a not very convincing carry, but they still have possession, and that's the important thing. And now that's a big carry from Bisaso right there. But Douglas Komakech was equal to him in that defense. Now the Buffaloes seem to be cooking up something here. They're a little bit patient, and now the referee's arm is out for a high tackle. You can see his arm is still out, but the Buffaloes appear to be going backwards in there, and surely any time now the referee Brian Batakwire is going to call it. His arm is still out, and the Buffaloes are still cooking up a few phases here and there. Now Kennedy moves are on the outside, but the Buffaloes were playing with advantage, and now they have to go back for that high tackle. And it is now decision time. Remember, Yasin has already got 1 out of 1 in today's kicking. That is his success rate. And now we wait to see whether he goes on to the boot. And if he goes on the boot and it is successful, they'll definitely cut a little bit of that margin, as the score is now sitting at 10 for the Pirates and 3. Oh, sorry, 12 for the Pirates and 3 for the Buffaloes. They need this kick.
A glorious chance for Yasin Waswa to have the deficit and bring the game to 12-6. It was very interesting how he managed to find Kennedy Muhumuza on the outside, but it seemed that Kennedy's motion was much faster than his coordination. Stepped out into touch. Yasin Waswa, that is effortless. That is golden. High, long, and accurate. You don't want it any better than that.
What a kick from Yasin Waswa, taking advantage of that penalty to cut the deficit for the Buffaloes. And now the Buffaloes have been tested so far twice with the kickoff and the restart, and they haven't been gathering that a little bit comfortably. And now it is the 3rd time for them to see whether they get their regather a little bit more accurate than they have on the 2 occasions before. William Kode to the sky. Baguma isn't eager to it, but that is a knock-on by Roy Chizito. If only he had gotten that ball. What do you think?
It could have been one of my favorite philosophical statements. There would have been that never was. And just after Roy fumbles that, Chigua follows him and smashes him downright the right flank. Makes sure he orders himself some ribs after the game, because the ones that are lodged into his skeleton have really taken some impact over there. But yet again, the Pirates beat the Buffaloes to the ball on their own restart. Quite questionable why the Buffaloes are not being very active in this kind of contest. They should have collected at least one of those 3 kickoffs. So you would think that the Pirates would want to generate many more of such similar opportunities because they have seen that every time they get into that situation, they're on advantage.
And now the referee is properly positioned right there just to look at what Ivan Kabagambe is doing. And this time that was a little bit more stable, and the Buffaloes get their ball out. And now that's very good defense from Frank the Tank Chidega. Now Humphrey to Yasin, and Yasin to the touchline. But Muhammad Haruna is there, and then he just fumbles that a little bit, and it definitely goes out to touch. That is Haruna Muhammad for you.
Yeah. If anybody embodies what life is, the ups and downs of life, it is Haruna Muhammad. Just one moment of brilliance, 2 slackening moments, and before you know it, I'm pretty sure in those legs and hands of his, and in that mighty rugby brain of his, he's still capable of whipping up or orchestrating another moment that could as well define the outcome of this game. Buffaloes at the line out.
I mean, a yellow card here and there, and a knock-on, a very small price to pay for his brilliance. But now the Buffaloes get the ball back, and that is Kenneth with a very determined carry, but he just runs out of acres there, and he's taken out by Kabagambe under Frank the Tank Chidega. And now we go back to where that line out had just happened a few moments ago. 0 meters gained, 0 work done by the Buffaloes.
Hey, I have just talked to my friends in police. They are offering Frank Chidega a position in the traffic department. Very good Kaunyemu business over there. Kenneth was trying to slide past him on the touchline, and Chidega condensed him with that well-reputed shoulder to set up another line out for Nathan Bwambale's only second throw in the game. Tashobia, ever reliant on the line out, this time gets there, but the hands are not accurate, and Godfrey Ayebari cleans up matters and puts the Buffaloes on the front foot.
Now the Buffaloes are into the 22 of the Pirates just for the second time in this game, and we wait to see what they can cook in that moment, but a little bit of poor handles here and there, and now they have the ball again, once again. That was off a touchdown. The referee calls for playing the ball while offside, but there's a charge down which automatically clears the offside line. But ahead we go, and Conrad Wanyama finds a very good touch, incredible touch into the 22 of the Buffaloes.
Isn't that simply amazing? Buffaloes have just collected that ball while they are being called for offside. They managed to dish out a happy afternoon hit to Humphrey Tashobia. He has received 2 of those, one from Chigua and the most recent one. But luckily for them, he now has a chance to clean up the mess for the ball he lost with this line out just at the 22 of the Buffaloes. Pirates, always relentless. Our viewers, we are aware some of you have not yet seen the squads for the day. We shall definitely be bringing them to you. But for now, we need to understand why Nathan Bwambale's throwing hasn't been accurate at all. It is 0 out of 3 for him. And this time, the Buffaloes have managed to claim that ball successfully and rack it over. And now they are in motion, although they are still in defense. Ndahura goes for the high kick, tests Roy Chizito in the sky. And that is a second knock-on by Roy Chizito. Quite slippery in the hands today. Wonder what lotion he used before the game began. Seems like it had a devastating effect on his grip. He might need to rub the ground quite ferociously in order to get back that much required hands work. But for now, that is the second time he's lost the ball forward and is granted Buffaloes another contest at the scrum.
Interestingly, at the Kings Park Arena, the Pirates are playing coming from the right to the left, if at all I have my bearings right. They're playing from the right to the left, and the advantage with that is that the winds are in your favor. However, you're facing the sun directly, and that has been a bit of an issue for them. And the referee says that ball is out, play some rugby, and Yasin retains it very well right there. He had the attention of Conrad Wanyama, but just managed to split away from him right there. Now, Otim Daniels for the first time in this game with a little grabber inside for Fat Moses Watmon, and surely that is a knock-on. Looked a bit like a high tackle, but it wasn't a high tackle. And now, Fat Moses Watmon, as he has done the whole season, taking bodies and just registering numbers for fun right there.
Fat Moses Watmon. He's like a Makerere student on strike. One way is the motto. Yasin Waswa now in possession. Kennedy, Owen Mugogo rather, to Baja Nanseko. Gives Desire right across the shoulder. Desire manages to stop him, but he sure has felt the impact of that. Godfrey Ayebare in waiting from Yasin Waswa. Godfrey Ayebare, another pocket dynamite, manages to skip through 1, 2, 3 men, and Desire tells him, those are all the fairy tales you'll have for this evening. Yasin Waswa again, and the Pirates, the Buffaloes with the ball forward, and Alex Aturinda, if they're not careful, could harm them. Covers some good meters, sets the ball up for Rock, and Brian Watakwide says, that's just about it, gentlemen. I will judge the matters going forward, and it will be a Pirate scrum, rightfully so, for that knock-on from the Buffaloes.
Surely Alex Aturinda is the last man you want to pick up that loose ball after you've had the handling error in there. But on that occasion, he didn't go so far, and now we come back for a Pirate scrum. That front row of Ivan Kabagambe, Ari Homuhomuza, and Nathan Bwambale at hooker has been facing off with the front row of Rodney Takan, Chigua, and of course Ayex himself. And as we go into the water break, the score is still 12 for the Pirates and 6 for the Buffaloes. The Buffaloes don't seem to be getting something going in this game. However, they look to be growing a little bit into it, and they may be a little bit more dangerous than they have been in the first passage of play going into that water break. What do you expect to see from them when they come back from that water break?
I think before we even talk about expectations, we have to note that Alex Aturinda, he has the speed of lightning and the might of thunder. He comes with a whole cloud ahead of him, makes matters very difficult for everybody around. And I think the Buffaloes have had a very tough test. They have felt the might of the Pirates, but they have managed to stand their own ground. And as we speak, the game is just 6 points apart. They have been at worse positions in this game, in this league, at the halftime, at the cooling break, and they've managed to always overcome. So it is still not too far away. It is a one converted try kind of game that could redefine the outcomes as we know them. But you would also believe that this lead has given Pirates some sort of cushion. They seem to know what they're doing. They have their wits about them. Although Buffaloes have finally managed to bring their critical, dangerous men like Fatmon and Daniel Otim into action towards the end of the first half. You believe that towards the cooling break rather, so you believe that when they come back, they'll be fresher, they'll be re-energized, and they'll be ready to work. Special shout-outs to Nile Special, our ever-reliant sponsor, who never really gives up on us, together with Rock Boom. They remind you to always energize your game. And everybody else who has managed to put one form of brick to this season, Uganda Rugby Union, the management of all the clubs, including those that have not managed to make it to the finals today, the players themselves, the fans, man, what would we ever do without you? We hope we are serving exactly what you wanted, and we hope that the players on pitch are not disappointing. It is only 20 minutes in, 60 to go, early times, too early to call. So we look forward to what happens from here.
Of course, both teams have been very disciplined in the first 20 minutes of the game, only conceding one handling error for the Buffaloes and 4 for the Pirates. And now we return with that handling error. But before that, the referee hasn't had to dish out any yellow cards because there have only been 3 penalties against the Black Pirates, while the Buffaloes have only conceded 2 penalties so far.
Conrad Wandera Wanyama Mwalimu Musomesa cradles that ball right by his side, feeds it in, and now the Pirates, who have already showed that they can push, will have the ball, but the Buffaloes manage to hold them up. Now Haruna, Itunkore, he tries to beat Ndahura, but Baja Nanseko has him for cover. Very interesting name, Baja Nanseko. They come with laughter. That's what it means. You wonder if you'll have any laughter at the end of the day. Interesting exchange there on the floor between Haruna and Nkore. Great receiver by Kabagambe. Now Eric Mulamula revenges against Fatmo for the first handoff he got. Hey, whatever you can do, I can do as well. Now Wijala, oh no, his boot gives way and he scrambles to the floor for something that would have been ultimately more dangerous. Once again, Eric Mula Pancho breaks the line yet again. Looks like his knee has kissed the ground there, and Batakwire signals to release. The navigator again into Chidega. He finds the gap. He looks for the seventh player in him. Frank Chidega! Try time! Oh my God! They need to call him up for sevens just for that particular run. Conrad Wandera Wanyama finds Chidega with a high ball. Chidega manages to jump a little bit off his toes to pick that ball from the skies, receives it and asks the Buffaloes, they say you're fast, you backliners, they say you can run. Let's see what you can do, boys. Let's see what you got. Look at that. Wandera into Nkore. Oh, it was Nkore. High pass. Chidega jumps just slightly, gets it and says, all right, let's go, boys. Let's see who's got it. Who's on safe border's back right now? Nobody, it's just me. That's just about it. Captain does the business, leads from the front and sets up Nkore for yet another conversion. 17 comfortable points for the Pirates as of now. Conversion to come. And Nkore yet again skews it slightly to the side, but the Pirates have already got 3 tries to them. If it was a regular season game, they would have already got the bonus point in the pocket. And now Buffaloes have an even bigger uphill task. And we don't think Buffaloes are reputed for their ability to climb. If this club was called Toyota Monkeys or Toyota Chimpanzees, something like that, they would be in position to climb that hill. But for now, they have to work thrice as hard to get themselves back into the game.
As we look at that run from Frank the Tank Chidega, Nyombi, I never knew that tanks could go that fast. They thought the man was running like a Ferrari out there, but clearly tanks can also go as fast if they wanted to. And of course, it is a very uphill task for the Buffaloes right now, but the Buffaloes have been very good in the second half in every game that they have played this season. And of course, they have the Maje on the bench, but for now they still have to do the business against the Pirates. Cut that deficit in the first half and definitely see off the game in the second. But for now, the job at hand is quite large, and of course the Pirates are equal to it, as we have seen from what a kick from Haruna Muhammad. What a brilliant kick from Haruna Muhammad. He takes it all the way into the half of the Buffaloes. Look at him once again.
Excuse me?
Daniel's team seems to not know where he is, and definitely he doesn't know where the ball is. Sorry, that was a Hector.
Right here.
Now Buffalo's possession, but in a very dangerous area, with our players like Humphrey Tashobia and Douglas Komakech in there. Frank himself, all very good jumpers. Surely pressure Buffaloes, and for the Pirates, they are happy to be playing in that area of the pitch.
The questions are coming in thick and in plenty that the Pirates are asking of these Buffaloes boys, but at least in the line-out department, they have been up to scale. And it looks like the Buffaloes have already been forced into a substitution, because I see Douglas Musoke is now roaming the pitch. He was not named among the starters of this game. I believe he has been sent in for crisis mode, crisis operation. But since his arrival, it looks like they are only backpedaling. For our fans who are watching us live, those of you that do not understand why the Pirates are enjoying home advantage this afternoon,
I don't know why.
the tournament manual that governs this competition decides that the team that tops the other, the team that's ahead of the other in the regular season proceedings, is the one that gets to host the final. So if the Toyota Buffaloes had been on top of Pirates in the regular season log, they would have been hosting this game at Chadondo. So that is why we are here at Kings Park Arena. Ball is out, Alex Aturinda to Eric Muller. He's been quite busy. He seems like he has a point to prove. Eric Muller, the money man.
Let's go.
Ball goes out and into Conrad Wanyama. Beautiful basketball pick by Nathan Bwambali. Ball yet again, Conrad Wanyama with a cheeky kick in there. Fatmon manages to claim it. Sits himself on his backside. Gets up, sends Zijala on the outside. Says, see you later, and then comes up and is racked comfortably.
For a moment, I didn't know which direction Fatmo is playing in, because after picking up that ball, he didn't look forward. He first came back to finish some leftovers right there, and he handled Ijala very well, and now they still have possession.
Yeah, that is where the Muzungu says necessity.
Holding on.
You know what they say about necessity? It's the mother of invention. And it is now Pirates ball. That should be only their first or second penalty in this game. Second, right? Yes, it's their second. This is the third penalty. And Captain Chidega says the front row boys need to reserve their energy. We still have more than 50 minutes to go, almost an hour of work. So we need to reserve the energy and let's put all the pressure, all the kilos on the boot of Prince William Nkore. From what we have seen, Nkore on the boot has managed to convert just one of his 3 attempts. He now goes for the 4th, but this one has the beauty of extra points from the others that he's been doing. And if this is slotted in, he will take the Pirates to 20 points. Easy does it. Flags are high up. Not at half mast. There is no moment of sadness at Kings Park Arena because Prince William Nkore now has put Buffaloes in a situation where they need 2 converted tries just to level the game.
And of course, William Nkore has been very brilliant throughout the season. And the player who has been deputizing him at fly half, that is Timothy Chisiga, with the industry in there to force that turnover. He just jackled and went over that ball. But the Buffaloes were penalized for holding on. And now with that penalty,
Who is off?
the Pirates go to 20 points.
Who is off?
The Buffaloes have been forced into another substitution in there. We can see Hector going off and Hussein Shen has been introduced. He has had very good appearances off the bench. He has been playing very well with Yasin Waswa in there, a very cheeky scrum half. But that doesn't go under the problems of the Buffaloes. Just keep on piling up in this game. On top of being behind by 14 points, they can't do the simple things like find only 10 meters, surely. Nyombi, can you find 10 meters?
My friend, I used to be a long distance runner. I could find 1,000 meters. But we say here in our local dialect, that, and I loosely translate that when it rains, it pours. However, since the sun's out today, we'll say when it shines, it scorches. For the Buffaloes in the savannah out here, the game is hot. Game is live. Conrad Wanyama feeds it into the scrum, and the Pirates allow him to pick it out. Timothy Chisiga, Mr. Safe Hands, sends it to Haruna. Dummies into each other and finally finds him. Skips past Fatmo.
That's a tackle.
And now the Pirates are already on another attack. Big Baker, good hands. Smashes
Tackle now, red away, red.
through the Buffaloes there. Wanyama again, into Nkore, into Desire Ayera. He gets past Kennedy Muhumuza.
Tackle.
They are doing their best to rock. The referee says play on. Back to Nkore. Into Haruna. This is dangerous. Oh, he goes dancing. Puts his dancing shoes on and gets the dance floor here at Kings Park Arena. Sets the ball up for another rack. Conrad Wanyama. Referee says that ball goes back. Haruna dummies yet again. It's like a fashion show, man. Dummy after dummy. And all the clothes right on them. Another phase. Nathan Wambali into Daudi Bajanase kwa Yasin Waswa. Double shoulder work. Half the impact. Chisiga picks that from down. Pacho tackled religiously by Daniel Zotim. They are doing their best to defend the Buffaloes. But they're defending way too hard. And it's seeming costly. Although now fortune favors them and the ball goes their way for a scrum.
Mark is here, the mark is here.
Buffaloes are very lucky boys out there. They survived that onslaught after the Pirates had the numbers on the outside, but that pass just goes a little bit forward, and now it is a Buffalo scrum, Buffalo's possession, and they get a breather a little bit in there after surviving that attack, but the front row has to put in the work as Ivan Kabagambe and Ariho Muhumuza and Nathan Bwambale have been putting on the pressure in the scrums.
Set.
Hussein Shane with the ball in there. It's another first half substitution. Gets out clean ball. And now Kennedy Muhumuza with the big carry. Kennedy just running past Conrad Wanyama in there and Roy Chizito.
Play on.
Yasin Waswa's kick is picked up by Haruna Muhammad, who is once again hooking, and he puts up a
challenges for another 50-22.
Tackle.
But Yasin Waswa is gathered at the ankles, but that's quite a lot of agility. Credit to him. Into Douglas Musoke, who flattens William Nkore over there. And now releases Kennedy Muhumuza. Buffaloes finally looking like they're getting something going.
Tackle.
That was Owen Mugogo who received that offloader now. Shane's kick almost forces a handling error from Roy, but Roy picks it up. Roy cuts through. What a run from Roy Chizito. Jumps the man.
Tackle.
Roy Chizito is still going, and now he's brought to the floor. And Conrad Wanyama recycles very fast. William Kore takes the ball outside, and of course, the Buffaloes are backtracking. They're in trouble once again.
Hey, are you feeling the heat? Nathan Wambali carries on from where the last action was. They are relentless, the Pirates. Now Ivan Kabagambe, he was on social media warning the Buffaloes last week that whoever tries to play any dirty rugby will feel his wrath. Haruna Mohamed seemed to have pinched that ball from the back pocket of Yasin Waswa, but Yasin looks like he's paid a heavy price. He's out there on the ground, stretched out, and it's not just him. There's another Buffaloes player who we are yet to establish. Look at Troy Chizito. Look at that level of industry. Steps past one says, Yasin, how heavy is your chest? Get down, bro. Into the third, another hit. It takes about 3 men to stop him. Very good carrying. He makes amends for the 2 balls he had lost forward. And the Buffaloes now need to catch some breath while they receive medical treatment as they prepare to take a penalty for restart.
It appears that contact from Roy Chizito must have caused the discomfort in Yasin Waswa, as he appeared to have landed on that shoulder that he has been clutching onto, but now he receives some medical attention right there on the pitch. He is the out and out fly half that the Buffaloes have, but Humphrey Ndahura has been playing there also this season, and now the Buffaloes have a lot to think about, especially in that technical bench of theirs, as they have to make probably the 3rd substitution of the half. They have introduced Hussein Shane. They have also introduced
penalty time for the Buffaloes. Yasin is up, and we are happy to see that. So is his counterpart that was on the floor awaiting medical attention. And now the Buffaloes have a line out just right. It's still a bit into their own half. But the game is really favoring the Pirates. It's been rumored that ever since his unfortunate passing, Sidney Gongodio has refused to rest until the Pirates get this job done. They say that his winds, his soul, his spirit are always continuously blowing for the Pirates, which is a good thing for Uganda Rugby because we'll never forget him. Another very good line out by the Buffaloes. Hey, at least for all that has gone wrong, that department, they've excelled. And now they're in motion with the phases.
Now Yasin Waswa's kick takes the Buffaloes deep into the half of the Pirates, but Roy Chizito feels that very well, but that kick is going to go dead, and the Pirates are going to be brought back after doing all that hard work. Roy Chizito just holding on to that ball, and then the kick lets him down, and the Pirates are brought back into their own half just after the 10-meter mark line. And as the forwards have done throughout this whole game, especially that front row, they are once again called into action to scrummage.
Time off, Red. We have subs on.
The Buffaloes have once again been forced into substitutions. We can see Bisaso Kenneth and Victor Baguma walking off, and that is Leonard Ndiku, and the captain himself, Joseph Teko, coming on for the Buffaloes, and they go straight into that scrum. Just after jumping on, they immediately contribute to the affairs of the day.
Very well. The Pirates have made 3 final back-to-back, but before they made their first, the Buffaloes were already there. In 2013, the very first time this format was played, they played in that final against the Heathens at Chadondo, which they lost. And they've been here chasing for silverware, and they've already changed workmanship, brought 4 new faces, and hopefully that will change their fortunes. Ball now, there's really a nasty scramble there going on. We don't really know where the ball is. It looks like it has come out for the Pirates. It is Humphrey Tashobia, who's now the makeshift scrum half. Masters a pass into Alex Aturinda. Charges forward like an arrow in battle. And Conrad Wanyama returns to duty. Haruna Mohamed is the man in waiting. The ball locates him, Sells a dummy. Sends Daudi Bajanaseko to downtown. And now
Okay. That happened.
Buffalo's
You have
trying
advantage
to
knock on by red.
defend with their life. And looks like the referee goes back for a scrum down to
Mark here.
the Pirates. I hope you've enjoyed that beautiful view, that aerial view of Kings Park Arena, showing you the surroundings of the busy Namambe area. This is Uganda, ladies and gentlemen. Among the beautiful things we offer, tourism, good people and great culture, we also boast of a romance with sport, and you can see the stands there are full to capacity, full to the brim. Everybody who loves this game, who has watched it grow in the recent years, is here to witness it with their own eyes. That is how it's looking as the Pirates set up for yet another scrum.
What is that?
Conrad Wanyama gets that ball out to William Korea. Now Haruna Muhammad once again. He's on the run. He just tucks it in there, and Roy Chizito is there to cover. Humphreys is very pleased with proceedings, but Desire is now on the attack.
Tapo, get back now.
Breaks one tackle, but is now brought down. And William Korea on the outside. Ivan Kabagambe shows a little bit of soft skills in there. And Nathan Bwambale is escorted to the try line. Nathan Bwambale, what a brilliant try.
For all his ability in the carry forward, Fat Moses Watmon has come under a lot of criticism for his defense, and it has showed in this game because 3 times the Pirates have dotted down, twice actually, they've dotted down at his wing, and you could see him there offering the transport to William Nkori to rather Nathan Bwambale to get his brace. He's in a good mood. He's in a very good mood. I would want to see him at the after party if he's enjoying the game like this. Conversion to come for William Nkori for an opportunity for the Pirates to stretch the game to 27-6.
Definitely Nathan Bwambale is going to enjoy that after party. He has been delivering on the pitch, apart from those lineouts that have gone a little bit wayward. But William Kore's kick goes out. But back to Nathan Bwambale. He has been very brilliant on pitch, and he has been rewarded for his hard work by that try where Fat Moses just hung on for a small lift to the try line. And now that is the second try to be considered on that part of the pitch, and that is something definitely to think about, especially defensively in this game of rugby. We all attack, we all defend, and we all have to do it so well.
Ready?
At the moment, Fat Moses Watmon is only doing one part of the game, and now Yasin Waswa once again to get us underway. And Conrad Wanyama is under it, picks it up very well, but he is arrested right there by Tata Soyu.
You're sealing, eh?
Douglas Musoke.
No.
And now
Use the gate, eh?
the referee Brian Batahuire isn't satisfied with that entry, just telling the Pirates player to use the gate. Came through the side, and now that is Chigua with a quick start, and he goes. And now the Pirates are in the 5 for the first time in this game. They have to defend there while the Buffaloes are attacking. The Buffaloes have some big boys in there, and they go over for their first try of the game today. The Buffaloes finally register a try. That appears to have been Leonard Ndiku, a first half substitute who came on just before a scrum, and he delivers right there to give Buffaloes their first try of the game. As it stands, the score is 11 for the Buffaloes, with a conversion to come from Yasin Waswa. Yasin seems to have recovered quite very fast. He's a man who was in the final here last year, and he played about 100 and how many minutes of rugby, and now he's back. So far played 40 minutes of rugby. He has 6 points to his boot, and now those are 8 points to his boot, and of course 13 points for the Buffaloes.
They may be down, but they're definitely not out. I have seen a very interesting comment off our YouTube stream where someone says that if this was South Africa, Pirates would be telling Buffaloes to go back to Chadondo. hardly had he said it when the Buffaloes finally got their score. That is a cross-section of the fans all enjoying the action as it goes down in this sunset at Kings Park Arena. Buffaloes seem to have come into their element towards the end of this game. They are finally getting the kickoffs, they are claiming them, and Haruna Mohammed is coming at them. Daniel Zotim
Tackle.
manhandles him just
No,
enough.
you're from the side, eh?
And Haruna sets the
Set.
ball up for Rock into Conrad Wanyama. Now Kabagambe, very magnificent the way he receives the ball. It's like he's playing cricket and not rugby.
now.
Receives the ball way off his body. It's a
Send away.
very beautiful thing to see
Ball is
from a
available,
front row
ball is
player
available.
like Ivan Kabagambe. Dinyam, once again into the tank. The tank masters a pass to Nkore. Nkore sends it backwards
There was
and
no
the
call in the
Pirates are
tackle,
now on an advantage. Desire Era on the lower end into Jeremiah Ijala.
Tackle, let go.
Looks like
Still on advantage.
it is Hussein
Tackle,
Shane
tackle.
that comes up to do all that defensive work to set up Timothy Chisiga now. Humphrey Tashobia will have a go of his own.
Tackle.
He meets a brick wall over there. He's stopped and Kabagambe yet again.
Okay,
Beautiful
advantage
pass
over.
into Haruna. Tries the kick, but Kennedy
Play on,
Muumuza
we'll charge down,
has charged
play
him
on,
down.
play on, play on.
It is now
Play on.
Chigua. Asks Chisiga to take a seat.
Tackle.
Quite gentlemanly of Chigua over there.
Sit.
And now Hussein Shane takes a very interesting spiral kick. It bounces behind Conrad Wanyama and goes further and further. And the team smashes him right across the mid-rib section and wins a very
Gotcha.
advantageous line for the Buffaloes. Look at how topsy-turvy the game has turned out. The Buffaloes were worried about earlier
No, Whistler's gone.
and now getting comfortable. Look at
Whistler's
Wanyama. He's caught lacking there. He does not know where the ball is. Or team is chasing, waiting for his moment like a hyena on a hunt. And when Wanyama holds that ball, Otim says, I have more real estate for you outside the pitch. You might as well go enjoy that. And Godfrey Ayebade now brings the ball into his harness for yet another Buffaloes line out. Remember, at the line out, the Buffaloes have been almost flawless. They've got it correct every time. And there's another opportunity, and yet again,
It's a
piping
more
hot line out work by the Buffaloes. And now they're in motion. More time. They want to even matters as we head into the half. Very patient ball is moving further and further and further. Closer they get. Oh, great defense by the Pirates. Just at the moment where you thought the Buffaloes had it over.
Aisha Musai. That was very good defense, but I still reckon that Ivan Kabagambe came through the side in there and just entered that mall illegally. But the Buffaloes still have possession. The Buffaloes are looking at the try line, and now they have been held up. As we look at the referee right there, Brian Batakwiri, what does he call in that moment?
Goal line, you okay? You okay, guys?
Yes, the Buffaloes were held up. And now you can see that aerial view. Brian Batakwiri, the referee of the day, just explaining to the Buffaloes what happened right there.
Yes, let's get back.
I think Daniel Zotim was still protesting about that mole that was going so well, but then was stopped legally or illegally. I don't know. The referee says it was legal, and on that try, he didn't see any grounding, and now we have a goal line draw. William Cody with the ball.
Interesting decisions by the referee. Definitely will be subject matter for many a debate after the events of the day. Now the ball comes to Kennedy Muumuza. It goes backward in the brilliant eyes of Brian Batakwiri. And now Kennedy has to master a run. He goes right into his former teammate Roy Chizito.
No.
They play together at the Impis,
25, no.
and Roy does his duty to stop him.
Stay.
Hussein Shane into Ndiku Leonard.
Play on, that was a rip, eh? Play on.
The referee, Brian Batakwiri, as you can hear him on the comms, he calls it a rip, but David Bajananseko recovers very well and gets back possession. And now Ayebale Godfrey, aka Ayex,
Last play first half, eh?
with a very good carry.
No,
And then now the referee just reminding the players that we have well spent the 40 minutes in this half. Anytime now, the Buffaloes need to do something.
Stay.
Otherwise, time is running out for them. And now the ball goes outside. It finds Daniel Zotim. That was a very good pass, but Humphrey Tashobia passes it forward. And now what does the call? The referee calls for a knock-on.
Last play first half, eh?
And surely that brings us to the break.
Half time, eh?
Oh my God. Everything worth every penny. The action today, the Buffaloes really came alive. They should have, you believe they should have been rewarded by the second try before the end of the first half right there. A very good maul orchestrated by them. You see that there's a reason why they put these men on the bench. Their plan had been to introduce them in the second half and make them a more competitive side on the physical aspect of the game. They've brought them in the first, and it is Leonard Ndiku, one of the substitutes, that has got it right. Douglas Musoke right in there, Hussein Shane in there. All the substitutes have worked very well, but we still have 40 minutes to go, and it is a 12-point game because it is 20. Oh no, it is 30 points. It is 30 points to. Oh, sorry. Let's get the score right. But as we get it, at least we are sure it is 13 points to the Buffaloes. The home side, we are also sure, is still in the lead as we go for the break. And we shall be back for the other 40 minutes. And we shall still be in good company with you, together with my friend Joseph Mani Muhumza, live here on Kawowo Sports.
Yes, what a half of rugby. Of course, the Pirates are ahead 25-13 for the Buffaloes. For me, it has been a very exciting game, but let us find out what these gentlemen think. I have Pius, of course, and I also have Arnold, distinguished rugby players. Maybe if you could just tell us how you found that first half.
The first half was all to play for Pirates. The Buffaloes gave away the game, I think, for the first half. According to the subs that have been made in the first half, you can see there's a lot of gambling for Buffaloes, but let's wait for the second half and see what they can offer.
And
that decision to have very good players on the bench was to be able to manage the game in the later stages, much as it hasn't worked out properly because they had to bring them on very early in the first half. But I think it has kept them in the game, and because of that, they are going to be able to come back. That is what I think.
Gentlemen, I think the substitutions have done well because Leonard scored a try there. We have been seeing all those carries from what's his name, Douglas Musoke. We have also been seeing Hussein. At least now you can tell that Yassin has come into the game a little bit more despite suffering what looked like a shoulder injury, but he's still in the game. For you, what do you think is going to change in the second half?
You know, all teams are suffering. Now the issue is because they made the substitutes early, Buffaloes has to suffer through the second half. When Pirates is able to make maybe more changes that will energize them in the second half. So I think Buffaloes right now just needs to control. When try to get control, if you saw late in the second half, when they try to slow down the game, gain control, they were able to play, but they're trying to pace up with the team that loves the pace. So I think they should pace down, and I think they'll have control by the end of the game.
Of course, as a scrum half, he talks about control, but I believe you're a man who knows about control of the game and tempo a lot. Do you think that the Buffaloes are in charge of this game? Are they controlling it, or they are playing to the tunes of the Pirates?
When the game just started, they had chosen to go with a scrum half who is not natural. So I think this is where there was a little bit of a shaky game. But with Hussein coming on, there's going to be better control and better communication between the scrum half and fly half. And if they can go into the second half and manage to make better tactical kicks, they'll be able to hurt Pirates. Yeah, that's what I think.
All right, as we close off this small session, the score right now is 25 for the Pirates and 13 for the Buffaloes. Let me start with you, Arnold. Is that going to change in the second half? Do you think the Buffaloes can turn this around?
I think Buffaloes can turn this around. If they manage to defend Pirates' broken play. Pirates is so good at broken and unstructured attack. If they can manage
there, and of course, you're enjoying the rugby, but counting, also considering that there is an after party to be had right here at the KPA.
Surprisingly, I'm looking for rugby, so I just came to watch rugby and drink a very cold beer and have fun. But for right now, I think Pirates are still going to go on to win. Pirates have switched up their tactics. If the coaches haven't realized that in the first half, and they can watch because they're playing off a longer channel than the usual normal short channel Pirates usually uses. So I'm sure if they don't watch it, Pirates is still going to go through all the way. But also if Buffalo, sadly to say, I think Pirates will still take it to the win.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. You don't have to apologize. That is your opinion. And of course, the rugby on the pitch doesn't know opinions. The better prepared side with the better, personnel will win.
I don't want Pirates to win, but...
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Arnold and Pius, thank you very much. You go and enjoy the second half. Of course, the second half is coming back. Right here at the Kings Park Arena, the score is still 25 for the Pirates and 13 for the Buffaloes. Back to commentary with Nyombi, Sylvester, and of course myself, Joseph Manmumza. See you.
The Buffaloes return to play right where they stopped contesting that receiver by Desire Ayera. Although the Pirates make sure that they maintain the possession. Wanyama goes out to Nkore, who finds a great exit kick right somewhere into the on-watching fans, inviting them to have their fair share in the action. 20 for the Pirates at the beginning of this second half, and their challenger, the Buffaloes, is at 13, which means that this game is only
here, Buffaloes here,
two-try score.
and black
I
here.
would really have underestimated the gods of rugby if I call that only, because sometimes teams,
when you're ready,
teams struggle to overturn such a deficit. But sport, mother sport, just like this, has that power of unpredictability.
Okay, it's a mole now. It's a mole. It's a mole.
Line out
it's a mole.
By the Buffaloes.
Okay, back,
and now
back.
they
Clear,
get
clear.
to employ their
Clear.
mole yet again.
Taco. No, stay.
And of course that mole has been working so well, and just like Douglas Museko has
That's
also
Taco.
been working so well. What a workhorse. He has been the difference ever since coming on late
Taco
in that first half.
Away black. Taco.
Alex Aturinda
Our
with
black
the
set.
defense. He can do it all. Can't he? He
Taco.
can attack, he can defend, and oftentimes I think the gaps look for him. He doesn't look for the gaps, because every so
Wait back.
often, even if he has the attentions of the defenders, he always somehow finds a way and escapes
Taco.
through. And now Humphrey Tashobia doing a few things here and there, and David Bajananseko
Taco.
breaks the line, but
Stay.
he doesn't go very far as he has the attentions of the Pirates defenders. Douglas
Taco.
Komakech with the tackle.
Advantage. Can't tackle
Buffaloes
number 9.
playing on the advantage,
Tackle now,
but
let's
still
go.
asking questions of the Pirates when it comes to physical department. Now it's Douglas Musoke. He could be a sevens player on another day.
There was a
Big boy
knock on there. We have
with crazy
advantage here.
motion. And the ball is lost forward there by Douglas in contact, but the Buffaloes will return for a penalty advantage. High tackle there. And you see, it's Ndiku, very eager to get a second
tackle
and
release.
challenge
No.
Adam
Black,
Wambali
no.
for the MVP title of this game.
Stay.
The early days, but Buffalo's busy. They've locked their horns right
tackle.
into
Black away,
the
black.
skins of the Pirates, and that's a diving attempt. That's a beautiful try. Right over the action.
It's clear.
It looks like Teko Joseph.
Please, I said
Right
to you,
over the
Captain.
action, the man has been very good in the line out, performing excellently well. And when he was called upon to deliver the goods, when it came to the try, he did so with such acrobatic acumen. Take a look at that. Brilliant work. Hussein Shane looks at him and says, you know what, this is your moment. And there he goes. Yes, if it was a phone, he would have engaged flight mode right there. And he finally dots down to bring the Buffaloes to 18 points with a conversion to come. Yasin Waswa right in conversion game posture. He goes, he does well. And that is 20 points now for the Buffaloes, while the Pirates stand at 25. Ladies and gentlemen, we have, will you believe it, we have a 5-point game on our hands with more than 35 minutes to go. I want you to note that carefully. More than 35 minutes to go, Joseph Mann.
You are a little bit harsh on yourself when you said only 2 tries, but now it is just 1 try, and that has been converted very well. And of course that big man once again, Douglas Musoke, so good. And those substitutes, as we said in the first half, have been the difference. Ndiku with the try, Captain Joseph Teko with another try in the second half. And of course we've also had
black, no.
Hussein controlling
There's
the
no
game
clear
very
release
well.
here. I
as
said
the
no.
national
There's no clear
but
release.
now there is an infringement right there. And that player was just told to release. When you tackle the man, you release the man. And in that case, the man wasn't released. And Yasin Waso has the duty to find touch for the Pirates. How far is the question? That ball is still on.
Right is it or now? He has realized that the questions are being asked by the Buffaloes, and he decides to take a solo run here, looks for support, finds Alex Atrinda who lets the ball go, and Daudi Bajananseko helps to stop that kind of action. Wonderful meter coverage by Roy into Conrad Wanyama, who attempts a brilliant cheeky kick, goes straight into touch, and we are back. This is amazing. Very, very amazing, because we have one of the best performing teams in the second half. Buffaloes chasing a 5-point game right now. And for contrast, for those of you who have not been following the statistics, Pirates in the second half has been one of the lower performing teams. I'll not use the worst because they've come to the finals. But their second half statistics have not favored them.
Number 14.
As much as those of the Buffaloes have been to their side. So now Teko, he has a try in his veins. Oh, you'll have to watch these lineouts. Beautiful stuff. Take that onto the museum. Here comes Hussein Shein. Buffaloes in motion. Ario Buhumuza, one of the best men in close combat in Ugandan rugby, struggles to stop Chiguaroni there. They release Fatmo, and Fatmo feels the crunching tackle of Chisiga, but the Buffaloes are now in motion into Otim. He can be dangerous if you give him just a little space. And here he comes now. 1, 2, 3, 4! Alex Aturinda, that tackle has come from so many cities. He has traveled across the world playing rugby for Uganda. He assures Otim that he still got that in him. Buffalo still in motion. Kennedy Muhumu's at the back. Goes into Conrad Wanyama. Gathers a meter or two, but that ball is pinched out of his hands into those of Alex Aturinda, who now loses it forward. And we shall be back.
Knock on by you,
Alex Aturinda is in protest, saying Kennedy Muhumuza lost that ball forward first. But Brian Batukwire is quite sure that it is Buffalo's ball, and it's a scrum down.
Where's number 3?
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
this is the last time.
welcome
Push up, I'm sending you off. You've done it twice
to the
in
Uganda
first
Rugby
half,
Premiership final.
Mark is here. Mark is here. If you push up again,
the referee Brian Batukwire just shows you the mark right there, and of course with very clear instructions to the players.
It was on your side, That's why I'm talking to you.
After that protest, Brian, very articulate, such a young man with a bright future in the game, just tells the players to calm down. He is in charge.
So we are good. Who is off? Who is off? Who is off? Okay, seconds. Coach! Fine.
Attacking scrum for the Buffaloes. Hussein Shein fits that in. This time round they remain set, but they panic.
Knock one by red.
Oh, Chiguaroni has been great all game.
Same mark, same mark,
same mark,
same mark. Let's have it again, let's have it again. Black ball, Let's have it again.
Yes, you can hear Brian Batukwire commanding that we are having the scrum at the very same mark.
Give it to the
but
AR.
now it will be Pirates ball.
Seconds. Seconds, Black.
The stadium has come alive.
Coach!
Buffalo's fans have finally found their voice. They've been quite lonely
Bind,
and cold.
8 in.
But right now they've warmed up.
Set.
Pretty soon the shots will come off. Pirates ball. They try to push, but the Buffaloes are up to scratch as well. Haruna Mohammed goes for a gigantic distance kick, but Amfred Aura is up to it, is watching. And he has Ogwang for support, but first he gets past he gets Sijala into Waswa. Yasin with an attempted grabber. It tests Nkore at the back, but Nkore puts it in his bucket and finds Wanyama. Quick feet and deadly feet by Wanyama. He's done that a lot around here at Kings Park Arena. And now he sets up for Rug, having covered over 10 or 20 meters there. Another kick now testing Fatmo. Fatmo is quite quick. You would think he would have gathered that. But the kick from Nkore was much quicker and probably
Red ball.
brainier.
So far, this is a game that has not gone Fatmo's way. Fatmo has been brilliant throughout the season, but in this moment right here, right now, Fatmo has been asked a lot of questions, and so far he has no answers. But he is a man who can come alive in just a moment and cause trouble for the Pirates. But now it is Buffalo's possession. That line out has been working so well with Titus Oyu and the captain himself, Joseph Teko, throwing. And now that is a schoolboy error from Maebade. The Pirates have the free kick.
Game is on fire, and this is Roy Chizito. He's also had a very good game. He dances back in to allow Pancho to rack him over. Now Nkori finds Aruna, great catch. He receives that off his forehand, not even the hand.
That
ball goes open. Chiguan reaches it. And the Buffaloes are now in motion yet again. He batters all the men in his way and covers all those meters and sets it up for Hussein. Here comes Ndiku.
That's a tackle.
It's made by Douglas Komakech.
Okay, you're good to go.
A silent employee in there working very hard but not taking all the lights. Yasin Waswa, another grab at him, but he's shut down by Eric Bulabula. Eric Bulabula to the lower end with Yasin Waswa for company, but he doesn't do enough and it's try time for Pirates. Eric Mula right on the Mula gets the money in for the Pirates. They've made it a habit to score corner tries in this final.
Is it the same ball?
And there it is. 30 points for the team from Kings Park. 30 points for the home side. And just as the Buffaloes are starting to mount a comeback,
you have 10 goals.
The Pirates make sure that they remain in double figures. They were getting into motion. They were seeming to have found their chemistry. But Yasin Waswa, his attempt for that grabber back into the back, behind the Pirates back line is shut down by Eric Muller. I need to see how he collects that ball really. But all I know is he puts Yasin Waswa onto means of transport, takes him to the lower end and scores for fun. Change of personnel for the kicker. They've employed Timothy Chisiga, but the change of personnel does not really guarantee a change in results. And yet again, they continue to be woeful on the tee, the Pirates. 30 points for the Pirates, 20 points for the Buffaloes.
The Buffaloes again some momentum in there, of course, with that very good carry with from Chibuaroni. But then Yasin just unlucky there. He was closed down brilliantly. And of course, one would have thought that Eric Muller had glue in his hands as that ball just stuck and went all the way over. I didn't even know he could go that fast, but he did against the Yasin Waswa that isn't so slow. And now that is a very brilliant kick off
the knee. Off the knee.
Wow, what a shambolic display of rugby.
That's a knock-on
right
offside. Wanyama knocked on. He picked the ball. Mark is there. It's a knock-on offside.
Very clear from Brian right there. He calls it
Stay
a
on the line.
knock-on
On the line. That's a tackle. That's a tackle. That's a tackle.
The Buffaloes with possession. They are in the Pirates 20. They're in the Pirates 5 right there. And of course, this is an area of the pitch where they like playing from. They have some big boys in there who can just carry that ball over the line, as we saw with their first try from Leonard Ndiku, who picked it up very well and went over. But the Pirates defense is resolute. The Buffaloes can't seem to be finding any meters in there, let alone an inch, as every carry doesn't go forward only and almost brings them backwards. And now that is Rodney Takan, another big boy with a big carry. They set up again, and that is carried a little bit high.
Tackle release.
Easy for the defense. And the Bajananseko is held up. David Bajananseko is held up in the try area of the Pirates. The Pirates survive on this occasion. But the Buffaloes have definitely got the momentum. And now the Pirates having to kick to the Buffaloes. Definitely. As you can see right there, David Bajananseko held up brilliantly by Ariho Mozabeka, and that would have been more fire because he was next to the ball. Conversion could have been a little bit easy for Yasin, but we are not dealing in what could have been and what should have been. We have the reality on our screens right here on Kawowo Sports with Nyombi Sylvester and myself, Joseph Man Muhumza, on communication.
Your namesake, Ariho Muhumuza, looks like he has stretched the muscle too tight while pulling off that defense. And
Medi,
you
can
see
we please
he's
get off? We play now.
only limping back, but
Time is
on your
back
screen
on,
is that man,
Goal line,
Eric Pancho, Mula the kid. He's
Okay,
been
so behind the
quite,
kicker.
reliable for Pirates, scoring in the semis against Eden Zachadondo and scoring today. And now we are in for the 20 dropout, but the Buffaloes seemingly having much more intent with this second half as they've showed. Ogwang, a hot stepper, finds Kennedy Muumuza. Kennedy
That's a tackle, no,
charges
release
into Alex Aturinda, who does well to stop
Release.
him, but
No,
the
no, no, no,
Buffaloes
no.
remain in motion. Patience is the name of the
Roll away
game,
first,
and the Buffaloes win yet another penalty. You could argue that it would be a wise decision to go for the points right now, but we leave it up to their captain to decide.
You have 10 seconds to decide.
Most definitely,
Where's the
that would
captain?
have been a good decision, but
Where's
the
the-
better
what do
decision
you
for
want?
me is to go to the line. Their ball has been working so well throughout the whole game, and if they go to the line and have that line out, very many factors in there to be considered. Win going to the line may not find touch, the throw may not be good, the ball may be not contested, very many things, and now they go for the one decision that has the two outcomes. It either goes in or it doesn't go in. And now Yasin Waswa, the man with the responsibility to find the extra 3 points right there. If that goes in, they have a converted try to chase. If it doesn't, the score remains the same, 30 for the Pirates, and now 23 for the Buffaloes. Yasin Waswa with a very good kick.
Okay, we have black, we have subs on. Black.
He reduces
We have
that
subs
deficit, and the score goes to 23 for the Buffaloes and 30 for the Pirates.
Okay.
The Pirates now make a change in their
Him, eh?
the trusted silent worker Moses Ziwa is introduced onto the pitch, and Douglas Komakesh goes off. Moses Ziwa, a natural flanker, but he is also a
Yes, we are
jumping
back on.
option.
We are back on.
Of course, Isaiah Yira is still in there and Alex Aturinda in there, but that kick by Yasin Waswa goes straight through to reduce that score a little bit. Now the Buffaloes have a converted try game to chase. Ronaldo Guan gets them away, and he finds very good touch in there.
Well, we still have plenty of the game to go. And Kawowo Sports, of course, we have to do our best to make sure you see this game from all possible angles, from the air, from the ground, from the side, everywhere. And here is a line out for the Pirates. They have introduced one of their national team stars. That is Moses Ziwa. He'd been left in the reserves, deployed now for the particular purpose of seeing out what has become an even contest. Yet earlier, it seemed like something that was tilting the boat of the Pirates in their favor. Eric Muller in possession, runs the gap, but Douglas Musoke is up to combat him. Now in Moses Ziwa. He's got white onto his hands, maybe to spell out how much purity he's intending to deliver on the pitch today. But he loses that ball, Buffaloes claim it, and now they are in possession again. They have been known to be a very possessive side, especially in their half, the Buffaloes. And Yasin Waswa puts one to the sky. Ogwang almost claimed that, but Wanyama beat him to it. And Ijala. Hey, that is power of an kite. Huge fend off for Hussein Shane, and Roy now is in motion. Roy Chizito, pass one man. But Douglas Musoke does just enough to stop him. Hussein Shane should still be reeling from that, but now it's Ario Muumuza into Ogwang, who does quite well for a man of this size to stop the marauding run of the big baker. Furthermore, Nkore, Alex Aturinda. Aturinda! He spits that ball, but it goes backwards. Pirates hanging on to life by a thread, and they've been turned over yet again. A big fend. This is rugby, ladies and gentlemen. We live for this kind of contact, for endless action. Buffaloes now back in possession. Hussein Shane out to Yasin. Yet again up in the skies. It's like he's sending something out to Jesus Christ and Sidney Gongodio in heaven to receive this ball. Roy Chizito, 4 men around him, a whole herd of the Buffaloes, and they win the penalty this time. Yet again the Pirates caught lacking. This could be dangerous, and you could say they've only been lucky that Brian Batakwire calls Buffaloes back to the mark, because Daniel Otim, with all those meters, he could have delivered a dagger much deeper than any Pirate has ever put on their waist.
We have subs on, eh? This one. Who is off? Who is off?
The referee Brian Batakwire right there, just calling the players and having a small word with them, with a Frank Chidega in there and a Haruna Muhammad. And now the Buffaloes make another change. David Bajananseko seems to be going off the pitch. He has been a very reliable ball carrier in there, and he has been very good defensively, and now he goes off. And Rodney Takan appears to be in some discomfort as well. And according to the lineup, I'm not sure whether Rodney Takan has a substitute or they will have to make a makeshift prop in there to cover for them.
A minute is on for water break.
And that medical break coincides with the water break as Rodney Takan is being looked at a little bit there. And of course you can see down there Daniel Zotim under his fly half. We have the water break and the score is still 30 for the Pirates and 23 for the Buffaloes. The Buffaloes have been what many have been calling a second half team, but do you think that something is going to change after this water break?
Well, we've gone for the water break with the Buffaloes on the front foot. Pirates seem to have lost their bearings a bit here and there. They have been penalized in very ridiculous situations. You would have believed that the Buffaloes, for the first penalty they got to the second half, they should have attempted forced into making a few subs in the first half, but they've showed in the second one that it was only right, it was only fair. They are still the men for the job. Hussein Shane at the base of the scrum is very live. Daudi Bajananseko, I still feel Daniel on his feet. For the Pirates, really nothing new. These are threatening situations they've been in before. Last year, a final like this one, towards the end of the game, they had to claw back and then win it in extra time. So you believe they're no strangers to this kind of situation. You believe they can also still pull it up. So yeah, I think we are left with exactly 20 minutes now. And I think we are set for the action over under 5 points.
Right now to just
Under 5 points.
right now to just pass there. Bamugambye Sebo Yitawo, you're yet to make a decision on what you want to do with your penalty. And Yasin Waswa flawless once again off the tee. He cuts down that Pirates lead once again, and now the Pirates are on 30. The Buffaloes are on 26 points. Look at that kick from Yasin Waswa. It just goes over very well, the right height, the right direction, and of course the accuracy in there.
Yeah, it's a very sharp contrast between Yasin and Nkori. I think Yasin's boot is female, and she's called immaculate because it's been pristine with every attempt at goal. And now, another kickoff. Very good work. Buffaloes look like they knocked that ball forward, but Batakwire says it went back. And now they are in possession. Hussein to Yasin. Again, Yasin into air, testing Roy on the far end. Roy does well. And now he is about to set up another long busting run. And instead he opts for a high kick, high and long. It bounces backwards. Oh, and it bounces into touch. That was risky. The Wakiso Winds had almost put the Pirates on the onslaught. Roy Chizito had to chase his own kick, and quite uncharacteristically, he had to chase it backwards. Very interesting outcome. And yet another line out for the Buffaloes. They are good at it. Like you mentioned, they've been mauling well. But on top of the good maul, they've also had an excellent kicker. So every time they are coming into Pirates territory, you can almost ascertain that they'll be challenging for points. My word, what lineouts they've put on show today. Here they come again, the Buffaloes. Ayebare Godfrey has the support of the newly introduced Moses Olwenyi, a Pirate on loan. Hussein Shane now, he has Douglas Musoke for support. Musoke steps in and back out, or rather out and back in. Here they come again, the Buffaloes. Patiently carrying the ball on, and now they are just outside the 22. But Kennedy Mumuza ensures that they enter. Remember that if they manage to get a try here, they will go into the lead for the first time today. But Akwire says the ball has been turned over just well, and the Buffaloes, all their hard work ends up in the mud because the Pirates win the penalty.
The Buffaloes a little bit blunt right there on the attack, but of course we have to also give Pirates their flowers. They defended so well, and they got that penalty, and that kick goes almost to the halfway line. And now the Pirates with possession. And of course, Nathan Bwambale has an opportunity to redeem himself on this throw, on this line on this line out, as he has new jumpers in there. He has a Moses Ziwa, who is also a jumping option, and of course he has Humphrey Tashobia in there. And now it is up to Nathan Bwambale to get his throw right.
Come to think of it, why is it not called a line-in? Like I said, our commentary also has Rugby for Dummies. So why is it not a line-in? Because they're the line and they're throwing the ball in. Well, it is Pirates' turn to go back to their bench, and Eric Mulamula, who's been excellent, gives way for newly recruited Davis Shimwa. And this time, Bwambale's line-out throw is very good. Turinda smashes on to Kennedy Muhumuza. The two of them started together in Tare School. Conrad Wanyama into Nkore into Chisiga. Chisiga does a hop step, but Haruna Mohammed loses that ball forward, and it is a scrum down to the Buffaloes. Everything right now is seemingly working in the favor of Buffaloes, and there you can see Wafa, a former player of the Pirates, gave this club some very good dedicated time. He seems to be analyzing the game with some friends of his. I'm surprised he hasn't yet pulled out a hanky, because the pressure must be hot. Or maybe he knows his team and is very aware they'll perform very, very well in the end. It's interesting that in front of him, a Buffalo's flag just waved. Talk about sharp contrasts. Wava in a somber mood, and a Buffalo's flag being flown high as they prepare for the scrum down.
Yasin's kick in behind. He has chasers right there. Ronald makes that tackle, and of course Hussein is there to help him out.
Release it. Leon.
David Shimwa's first action.
Shimwa tries to shimmy left and right.
Play on.
But Pirates almost lost that ball. They were lucky. It came off the feet of their player. And now Nkore into Chisiga. Back to Haruna. Ijala on the outside. Haruna, that is Fatmo. Fatmo tries, and that looks like a high tackle from Fatmo. But the referee says all is fair in love and war. As the Pirates continue to push the limits of the Buffaloes, they lose the ball here, but they win a penalty for a high tackle, rightfully called. Take a look at that. I should be a referee myself. I think I saw that high tackle, but oh, he shows us his shirt. Says, I'm number 14. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Fatmo, and I am also a henchman. I go for the neck. Interesting decision time now for the Pirates.
Of course, Fatmo right there. Fatmo, we are still within the 80 minutes now. Fatmo attended Sotemesi. But of course, as assistant referee on that side, Asha Nachitio just showing her flag right there and assisting the center referee Brian Batakwide to get that decision right for the high tackle on Haruna Muhammad. The Pirates elect to go for the line out, and now another opportunity for Nathan Bwambale to once again find either Humphrey Tashobia or Moses Ziwa in there, who has been introduced in the second half. Desire Yera joins that line out, and now they go for a 6-man or a 5. They go for a 6-man. Probably want to cook up a mode of their own. and that doesn't work out, surely.
Captain, what do you want?
4.
Okay, let's have it here.
The Buffaloes. The referee asks them what they want. They have the option to throw a line. They had the option to also throw or to go for the scrum, and they pick the scrum.
Coach!
Yeah.
Bind!
I hope the excitement, wherever you're watching from, is as pulsating as it is here in the Kings Park Arena. Hussein Shane picks that ball out, finds Yasin again. Take a look at that boot. He challenges Ijala to hold it. He does well to take it back and regather. He can start a burst of speed there. He's capable of it.
Taco.
But Humphrey Ndahura has been very hardworking today, and the Buffaloes are challenging that scrum. They look like they've turned it over. They have. Now ball in the hands of Wanyoto. Places, you call him Bishop Wanyoto because he lays his hands on Moses Ziwa right there. And now another phase from the Buffaloes. Working very hard, but working very patiently.
That is in the neck.
Has been their standout factor, and they win yet another line out. This will be very inviting for Yasin. Yes, Kapeke would be proud because the Ntemensingo situation going on from the Pirates now. Oh, that's quite an interesting one.
We have
the ball bounce went
you
over.
In the neck.
Well, if it was to a footballing mind, we would have found a call for that one. But we shall be back. Yasin was, of course, aware that they were playing on advantage. And now, there is a slight chance, quite a slight chance for Yasin to make this a 1-point game.
Of course, Yasin instantly pointed to the poles. He's feeling it. He's in the mood for those threes, and he has been getting them in today's game. And of course, this is another opportunity for him to close that gap on the Pirates. The Pirates are still on 30 points, and the Buffaloes are on 26. That would put them within touching distance of the Pirates with just 1 point. But even for now, they're still in touching distance with only 4 points. But for those of you watching us from home, just look at the bottom of your screens. Our friends from Tisini are showing you real-time statistics from today's game. You can see the kicking accuracy, the line-out accuracy, you know, and all those things, the discipline. But now Yasin Waswa, speaking of the kicking accuracy, Yasin Waswa gets it right once again. He's the man who has been on this stage before. He came and he played with the Ginger Hippos here last year, and now he is back and he is showing his peers why he deserves to be here and why he deserves to be the signing of the season for the Buffaloes.
The Pirates are now sensing danger. The waters at sea have gone murkier than ever, and they've had to deploy 3 new sergeants to the ranks. John Paula team, Kelvin Balagade, I believe, and Buju have come on for Conrad Wanyama, Humphrey Tashobia, and it should be Desire Ayera. Back to proceedings now. Game is live, ladies and gentlemen. Did Buffaloes knock that forward? Looks like they did, but the referee, yes, they did. And the referee says it is scrum down Pirates ball.
Nyombi, the last time the Buffaloes were in the final of the Uganda Rugby Premier League in 2013, Stefan Alu, Mr. Buji, was their starting scrum half. Over 13 years ago, he has been a very loyal servant of the Ugandan game, and he is still serving rugby with the Buffaloes, of course, in the beginning, and now with the Stanbic Black Pirates.
Coach! Hello.
Yes, there you have it.
Coach!
I need to be sure that I have not seen it wrong, but it looks like Mr. Olwenyi Moses is at the front row of this scrum. I really believe that's quite unorthodox by the Buffaloes team to deploy him in such a position. Pirates now having the ball. Timothy Chisiga, Mr. Safe Hands, swings it out to Ijala. Ijala, he has Aruna for company, one dummy, and is dragged down with ferociousness. Ball into the hands of David Shimwa, smashes the small gap that comes open to him, and the Buffaloes win a penalty of David Shimwa.
Great defense right there from Ronaldo Dong. He just goes in there, dips his hands into the basket, and he jackals that ball on what seemed like an eternity for the Pirates on the attack. David Shimwa coming on right there, and the first Ogwang makes the tackle, and then Who is that juggler? What a jackal. And of course, what a touch finder takes us to the 10-meter mark line. Of course, Alex Ayebare got free to throw for the Buffaloes once again. And he has some jumpers in there. The Buffaloes have changed their hooker, but the results are still the same. Ronald Kanyanya finds his jumpers in there, and the Buffaloes have good possession. And now Douglas Musoke, big ball carrier, has been the difference ever since coming on. And Yasin's highest boot.
This is the moment.
By her.
This is why we are here.
Makia.
This is what it comes down to. Out of nowhere, a second half of this nature has unfolded right before our eyes. Yasin Waswa is in the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. He puts that ball sky high, puts it right up like a kite, makes it very difficult for, it should have been Stephen Alul to challenge. And while he's still fumbling, Ogwang is on his case, and it should have been Aruna Mohamed who has scored offside. And they get the full penalty now. Yasin has the chance to give Buffaloes the lead. Here he goes! And it goes to the side. The Pirates live to fight another day. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot, Joseph Mani, I can't believe what's happening here. But first I need to apologize to the fans. I misled them to think Moses Olwenyi was at the front row. But also I'm not so wrong, because Moses Olwenyi is the player who does what he wants. It could have been him on any other day. That person who came on at the front row is Ronald Kanyanya. He replaced Godfrey Ayebare. And I think Olwenyi came on for either Kenneth Mumuza or Owen Mugogo. Well done on the 22 drop. Hussein Shane.
Get back. Humphrey Tashobia takes us to the sky, and Aroy Chizito is there. Gathers it very well, but he has a defender on him. That ball comes out of the rack. It was open for a moment, but the Pirates still secure it.
Wambale been quiet in this half, unlike how he was in the first half. But Roy Chizito has given this game his all. So has Ivan Kabagambi, who is now in motion. I told you this man needs to be called up for sevens or for a cricket game. Calvin Balagade. Yes, that is called a Bluetooth hit. Smashes into one man and the other goes on his own. Timothy Chisiga says a good dummy. He's held up by three men. Manages to throw the ball back. Buju throws all his weight on it. And now Olwenyi collects it. Buffaloes in motion. Humphrey Ndahura.
Kennedy Muhumuza just doesn't gather that pass right there. And the Pirates survive that attack. And of course, very good work. What beautiful hustle from...
Black ball. Mark is here? No, we didn't.
Very beautiful hustle right there from Moses Olwenyi himself. Look at that. That almost worked out for them, but Kennedy Mumza just couldn't gather that ball. And of course, we have another scrum, and the man himself, Moses Olwenyi, is in the forwards.
Okay, second.
You had put him at the front row, but Moses Olwenyi, as you had said, is a man who does what he wants, and lucky for him, he's good at everything he does.
He surely does what he wants, Moses Olwenyi. He could choose to play for Pirates now, and nobody would stop him because he is a Pirate on loan at Buffaloes. Stephen Alul gets that ball in. Remember, Olwenyi is also captain of the Buffaloes while on loan. This is a chance for the Pirates to show their scrum might. I think it is the substitutions of John Paula team that are showing, and Kelvin Balagade, that have brought that new breath of strength into the Pirates forwards. A light scramble over there, but now John Paula team, the man with the big hand, the biggest fend in Ugandan rugby, Frank Chidega the Tank, another phase. Remember, they are hanging on by a thread. Just 1 point in this game. But they are on attack and they are looking for something more. Yes, that is David Shimwa against his opposite number, Kennedy Muhumuza. Fatmo enters that ball illegally, steals it, and this is the task now for Pirates to decide. The wise decision could be for the points, but as we've seen, they have been quite awful off the boot. Maybe this is the chance for the Fat Lady to sing for them and for luck to go their way. They have signaled the intent is to go for the score. And William Nkori, this is Pirates royalty right here. He is a prince, both by name and capacity within the ranks of the Pirates. He's on a bended knee, not to propose for marriage or engagement, but to stretch the Pirates back to a 4-point lead. We wait and we hold our breaths and we count the minutes as the kicker bends over, looks for the strength right from his glutes, hoofs that one. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
William Kore just unlucky there. He has been with a very good boot throughout the whole season, but on this...
That is quite deceptive, Joseph Mani. William Kore has been below 60% on conversion rate, I believe.
I was accused of being biased against Pirates.
It shows, it shows.
When I try to compliment them, you refuse. But the game is still going on. The game is still going on. The Buffaloes have the possession. And that's a carry by Aaron Wanyoto. But that carry goes back to where everything started from.
Taco. Taco. Advantage over.
That's a very good kick across the pitch. And the Pirates have a line out, but the Buffaloes have gained a few valuable meters in there after that kick from Yasin Waswa, who has been incredible today. On the other hand, Fat Moses Watmon must have sent his cousin for this game because things are not going very well for him as they have been ever since he came back from that camp of the Sevens and I played that semi-final against Impis 2 weeks ago. And in rugby, 2 weeks is a very long time, and it can tell right here at the Kings Park Arena. That line out doesn't look good, and the referee lets it play.
Taco.
Fat Moses today is Fat Aaron Watmon. Those of you who know the Bible, you know the relationship between Moses and Aaron. Well, here we go. There was a protest by the Buffaloes' hands in the air, swinging them like they just don't care. But in reality, they were caring because they thought that ball in the line out by Nathan Bambale was biased. But, well, dead men tell no tales. And now, they're in motion. Kelvin Balagade. Remember, he was a Sevens international before having a break to have a stint in the US. He had picked that ball and was running it. Oh, Baker seals that. And now Pirates have chosen to do what any wise man would do. Play this game out with slow, patient phases because they know they have very few minutes. The day is in its evening hours and so is the game. We are almost closing it out, so they've decided not to do any running, not to do any hard work, just pick the ball, go down for ruck. Now the Buffaloes are very desperate because they need to claw back just a little possession and have one last bite at the cherry in this game. It remains to be seen whether the Pirates will let them. Another phase. Buju just picking that up and giving it to the big man awaiting him. Looks like there's a Buffalo's man off his feet there, but Batakwire says there is no infringement. Carry on. Patient, slow, painful phases by the Pirates. They want to win this by one painful point. The Buffaloes will definitely rue all their chances. They rue the times they've been held up in this game because anything goes different there. They'll probably have a different shout. But Akwire gives Buffaloes a penalty now. Can Yasin claim this from distance? We remain to see that. Oh no! Ogwang has knocked that ball forward. Davis Shimwa almost pinched it from him. And Brian says, just wait a minute. It did look like Ogwang turned and puts the ball back, but somehow Batakwire sees it and says, the way it drops, it's been dropped forward. And now there's some consultation going to happen between the referee and his touchline judge, Ashan Achitio. We wait to hear this out.
Let us look at that once again. Daniel's old team just quick starts right there and throws a long pass to find Ronald Ogwang, but Davis Shimwa was there, and now the discussion between the referees must be on what exactly happened in there.
There was a knock-on first by black, knock-on second by red, but time was off. Yeah. So, I'm back on. Knock-on.
And it is full time with that explanation from Ban Batakwire.
Just when the Buffaloes thought their opportunity had come to get that final bite,
Don't come to me.
Brian Batakwire comes with a different response, says that ball should have been turned over, and when he awards the Buffaloes that scrum, he figures that it is just enough time. It is not the moment that they were looking for, and he calls for the final whistle, much to the chagrin of the Buffalo players who have gone to express their dissatisfaction. And in stark contrast, their Pirates counterparts are in jubilation mode. It is already a weekend. They are having a good time. They've collected this. They put it in the bag. Of course, the Buffaloes will feel jilted, but that's the nature of the sport. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And the winner today is none other than the defending champion, the Stanbic Black Pirates, who come to conclude what has been a fierce rivalry between the two sides. 30 points to the Pirates, the deciding score, and just 1 point shy at 29 stand the Buffaloes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on Kawowo Sports, for watching this game, for loving Ugandan rugby. Congratulations to the Stanbic Black Pirates. Hard luck to the Toyota Buffaloes. This is where it ends. 16 gruesome weeks of hard work have now been concluded, and you have a new winner, or rather, you have a recurring winner, and the 2026 champion is none other than the Stanbic Black Pirates.
The Pirates are champions once again right at the Kings Park Arena, defending the title they won last year at the same venue, beating the Ginger Hippos. They brought the stage. Yes, Danny, yes, they came running. They're very happy to bring the stage. But of course, the stage has been set. The Pirates have defended home turf. But not only that, they've also defended their trophy. Danny, how do you feel as a Pirates fan?
First of all, last year I refused guys from calling me Danny on a day like this one. Call me champion. I know you're a journalist. Kindly repeat your introduction and greet me properly.
Yes, my name is Joseph, and I'm an ordinary man, but I'm standing right here with a champion.
Thank you.
Back-to-back champion. Champion Danny, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very great. This one meant everything to us for many reasons. One, because we were home. Two, because we were trying to defend something we had never done. But three, because this one was for Big Seven, for Big Seed. And we're glad to win.
Like,
Hew him. He was an honest if we had Big Seed around. Unfortunately, God wanted him more than we did. But we are glad that he left us with his brothers who have played for him today and who have won the title. And that's all that counts. And we hope that this year, apart from taking the three trophies, the treble will take 4. Rumba Sevens is considered a trophy of its own. So yeah, I hope we'll do much better than we did last year. We have the players and we have everyone. So.
All right, have you called your shots plug yet?
No, I called my shots plug. I'm going to go and change shots. If you meet me tonight, don't ask me what happened. I'll definitely have changed. I'll be in a different shot.
All right, could you kindly take us to this gentleman and we have just a small chat. I've been told that we are talking to champions today.
Yes,
I shouldn't be calling you by your names. Yes, as champions. How are you feeling?
Relieved, to be honest. It was a close game. At the end, a bit of pressure. I think the players are like, these guys are too comfortable. So it was, I'm relieved.
All right, second champion. How did you feel when that kick by Nkore went outside when you needed to, sort of extend that lead?
It was very heart sinking for us because we knew it was on the line. Everything was on the line, and we just thank the boys for holding it out, for pushing through and everything. But it was close. It was a very close game.
All right. Any last words for those who have been watching at home and watching on Kawowo Sports?
We can say this was for Sido, and we have taken it. So I know my guy is happy up there now.
Of course, for Sido. Thank you very much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, my dear producer Fred. We are still at the Kings Park Arena. We are yet to listen from the Buffaloes. We are yet to listen from, the Pirates, the champions of today. But we still have those pictures coming onto your screen right now. Of course, we shall have the highlights. We have the full match for you to go back and watch. So keep it tuned on Kawowo Sports. We are bringing more. Mungambireko mbu ogenda kukola bino bi handover biki and we call it ngenda kukola bi handover bako kukebu ngole na la peo. them coming out like this. We would like to record them coming out like this. Wait for him to come out. Now we shall wait when they start hitting out the middle. Hello? Pirates Yamani. Atadeo. Right, we are back with another very special interview right here at the Kings Park Arena. I have Nathan Bwambali. Mr. Baja, how are you feeling?
Obviously, I feel very good. I am happy to be the second-time champion in a row. And yeah, it feels fantastic.
Nathan, of course you must be tired right now physically, but mentally, what has this game taught you as a second-time champion?
Yeah, I mean, we were supposed to honestly close it a lot earlier. But final is a final. I mean, Buffaloes didn't come here to just play around. I mean, we had to give them the respect that they deserved, but we somehow took off the...
Then 51th official game since our records are since taking records. You're now champion once again. Did you at any moment think in all the games you've played, but the game last year that tested you a lot, going beyond the 80 minutes, did you by any chance think that today's game was also going to go beyond the 80 minutes?
Well, I didn't expect it to go beyond the 80. We definitely came in expecting to close it early. But it was tough. I must say it was a bit tough, most especially in the second half. But I mean, at the end of the day, you also have to look back and see what kind of experience you bring to the table. And I must say I looked forward to ending on a high.
All right, before I let you go, there are people at home streaming on Kawowo Sports. That's why they have watched the rugby from, but the night is still young. What do you have to tell them about KPA and about the proceedings that are going to go on after now?
I mean, KPA is the home of rugby party. So there's a big party that's going to be going on. We have solid entertainment coming up, a solid lineup. So if your shoes are clean, please get them on and come join the party.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure.
All right, and congratulations.
Cheers.
Charles Saifason, and how are you feeling?
Mixed feelings, but yeah, tough loss there, but we pick lessons and learn from this outing in particular. Yeah.
Of course, you're going to pick up very many lessons from this game, but now the season is done. What are some of those things you think that the Buffaloes have ticked off from the targets that they had at the beginning?
I think for us, being at this stage is a very big achievement. We've been falling short a couple of times, finishing 7th in the league, being knocked out in the semi-finals sometimes and then quarter-finals. We've always been knocking, and getting to this far is one of the key targets we achieved, and we believe that we are proud of what we've achieved. Generally as a unit, with our second side also winning the reserve league, which is a very impressive thing with the good talent in Buffaloes, and I think the only thing left is to try and rebuild, make sure we have the continuation of what we're doing right.
Coach, you've been knocking on the doors of titles a lot of times now. Of course, last year in the 7s and now this year in the 15s, and we have another 7s league coming up. Do you think that coming this close in the 15s, for example, let me state it for you. Last year you are 3rd in 7s. This year you are 2nd in the league, and now you have a 7th season coming up. Do you think you're going to improve in that 7th season and probably win the whole thing?
So from your context, then that means the next one is number 1. So 3 to 2, and then 1 is along the way, which was very possible today. But how we started off the game with a couple of defense errors, the players failed to settle into the game, and I think Pirates took advantage of mistakes and errors that our broken defenses that we were staying on the line every single time. So we didn't put enough pressure onto them, which was the opposite in second half. To put too much pressure and they couldn't play the game. So our start was really late. Our start of a good game was really late. And but yeah, it could have gone either way. And I give credit to the boys for the fight. Everybody would have thought that game would have been a one-sided game to some extent. But I knew the Buffaloes that was on that pitch, and I think the boys stepped up well to try and push us to really dig deep and get the clear definition of the Buffalo. So to me, I'm proud of them.
Of course, Coach, we can see your boys out there in the corner. They're having a few discussions here and there. But when you join them later, today or even in the week, what are some of those words you're going to share with them?
Yeah, we've already had a chat about it. We've just reflected on the journey we've had. The most important thing is we've fallen short, but the most important thing is now how do we keep ourselves up there. So the work after this is the most important thing, and we shall sit as a unit and then make sure we can set new targets for the new season and see what we can achieve after falling short in this encounter.
All right, Coach, hard luck and better next time.
Thank you so much.
Sorry for shaking with the left hand. But that is our coach Onen right here at the KPA. His team has come out second, very close right there. They came back and, sort of challenged in the second half. The game ending 30-29 right here at the Kings Park Arena. And I believe you can see some of those pictures with the Pirates receiving their trophy right there. They have earned it. They are defending champions. And of course, they are going to enjoy their evening and the season ahead. We have been at the Kings Park Arena. My name is Joseph Manmums, and in commentary, I had Sylvester Nyobi joining me in that commentary box. Of course, producer Fred on the camera and on the console has brought you all this action right there. But for now, enjoy the rest of the pictures, and if you can make your way to the KPA, come through and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.